Hi, fifth grade, and welcome to the vocabulary and processing section of chapter 11, to declare independence or not. For this lesson, you will need your interactive student notebook and something to write with. Go ahead and pause the video now if you need to grab those. All right, we are going to start with the vocabulary portion for chapter 11. Our word bank for this slide is independence, neutral, resolution, and tyrant. So let's look at the first definition: a statement that expresses the wishes or decisions of a group. Is that independence, neutral, resolution, or tyrant? I'm going to put resolution there because it doesn't sound like independence, doesn't sound like neutral or tyrant. So let's look at the next definition: not taking sides. Is that independence, neutral, or tyrant? Not taking sides. Doesn't sound like a tyrant. Maybe independence or neutral. I think I'm going to go with neutral, not taking sides. All right. Number 3, a ruler who uses his power harshly. Is that independence or tyrant? That sounds like tyrant, so I'm going to place that there. And finally, number 4, separation from or freedom of control by another country or government. That does sound like independence, so I'm going to drag that over. Hopefully, these are all correct. Let's see. Yes, they are. If you want to pause the video so you can write down these words and definitions, please do so now and press play when you are ready to continue. All right, let's look at our next set of words. Our next set of words, we have loyalists, patriots. You guys should be pretty familiar with this after those great debates you guys had last week. Traitor and treason. All right, let's look at the definitions. Number 5 says people in the American colonies who wanted the colonies to become independent from Great Britain. Is that loyalists? Patriots, traitor, or treason? Thinking back to our debates last week and who was for and against independence, I think that's patriots. So if you were a patriot, you probably remembered that. Number 6, the crime of acting to overthrow your ruler or betray your country. Betraying your country. Is that a loyalist, a traitor, or treason? A traitor sounds like a person. Treason sounds more like an act of somebody doing something. So I'm going to go with treason. All right. So we have loyalists and traitor left. Let's look at number 7. People in the American colonies who opposed independence and wanted the colonies to remain under the control of the King and Great Britain. Is that a loyalist or a traitor? Definitely sounds like a loyalist. I remember the loyalists debating last week, and they were opposed to independence. Finally, number 8, the definition says a person guilty of betraying or acting against his or her own country. That definitely sounds like a traitor. All right, I'm going to check my answers. All right, got them all correct. Let's go ahead and before we move on to the processing section, if you need to press pause so you can write down these words and definitions, please do so now. Press play when you are ready to continue. All right, finally, we are going to move on to the processing assignment for chapter 11. So let's go ahead and look at that. You will need to open up your interactive student notebook to page 71. So go ahead and open up your book to page 71. You are going to be writing 2 letters. one letter to the panelists with whom you most agreed, so the loyalist or patriot, and write another letter to the panelists with whom you most disagreed. Let's look at the instructions in our notebook. It says, suppose that you are a colonist, you have just attended a debate on whether or not to declare independence from Great Britain. You guys have experience with this. You watched your debates in your classes last week. If you didn't get a chance to watch or was not at the Zoom, if you weren't at the Zoom, the recordings of the debates are posted to Google Classroom if you want to take a look before you write these letters. It says, write 2 letters. The first one, you are going to write to one of the panelists with whom you most agreed. So maybe you agreed with the patriots the most. Write a letter to one of the patriots. Then you're going to write a letter to the panelists with whom you most disagreed, who you did not agree with. Maybe it was a patriot, maybe it was a loyalist. Pick one of the loyalists and patriots who you most disagreed with and write him or her a letter. Each letter should be dated and have a proper salutation or greeting. So you could say, dear so-and-so. Begin with a topic sentence that clearly states your feelings about the colonists' ideas on independence. Mention at least 2 of the colonists' arguments with which you agree or disagree, and an explanation of why you feel that way. Make sure it's free from spelling and grammatical errors, and use words that refer back to the panelists and other people you have named, such as you, he, she, are, and their. If you don't remember the debate, you can always look at your reading notes that you took on page 68 and 69 to help you with your letter. Once you are done with your 2 letters on page, you're going to write them in on page 71 and 72. You can go ahead and go to the Google Classroom assignment and click Turn In. Thank you, 5th grade.